Alright, YouTubers, welcome back to War Thunder Ground Forces with the Angry Nerd. And today I thought we would take a look at the Soviet BMP-1. The BMP-1 is a Soviet amphibious tracked infantry fighting vehicle. The BMP-1 was the first Soviet mass-produced infantry fighting vehicle and one of the first in the world. During the 1950s, the Red Army's mechanized infantry tactics were still similar to those they used in World War II, in which APCs were basically used as battle taxis. They would transport and keep the infantry in close proximity to the tanks during movement, but when enemy contact was made, they would unload their infantry and retreat to a safe area. This was in contrast to the German APC doctrine, where the vehicles would stay with the tanks and engage lighter targets, both to take the burden off the tanks and to provide fire support for their infantry squads. Therefore, thinkers in the Soviet Army had the idea to test a hybrid between an APC and a light tank, which was to become the very concept of an infantry fighting vehicle, a unique creation of the Cold War. Soviet military leadership saw any future wars as being conducted with nuclear, chemical, and biological weapons, and a new design combining the troop-carrying properties of an armored personnel carrier with the firepower of a light tank would allow the infantry to operate from the relative safety of its armored radiation-shielded interior in contaminated areas, and to fight alongside it in uncontaminated areas. It would increase the infantry squad's mobility, provide them fire support, and also be able to fight alongside main battle tanks. This new category for a traditional tactical assignment was a successful one, which is still used today and will be for the foreseeable future. The requirement for the BMP was first drawn up in the late 1950s. It stressed speed, good firepower, and the ability for all squad members to fire from within the vehicle. The armament had to be enough to provide direct support for dismounted infantry in the attack and defense, and be able to destroy comparable light armored vehicles. The vehicle needed to protect the crew from 50 caliber machine gun fire all the way around and 20 to 23 millimeter caliber autocannons from the front, as well as light shell fragments at a distance of 500 to 800 meters. These requirements were issued to various design bureaus between 1959 and 1960. The original prototype was built in 1964, followed by an improved Object 765 in 1965, which was accepted by the Army in 1966 under the designation BMP-1. The 120th Guards Rifle Division was the first unit in the Soviet Army to test the new BMP infantry fighting vehicle between January and November of 1965, and small-scale production began in 1966. The BMP's driver sits in the front on the left side of the hull. The commander station is basically directly behind the driver's station. The gunner station is in the turret to the left of the main gun. The troop compartment is located at the rear of the vehicle, and the vehicle can carry up to 8 soldiers. A 300 horsepower, 6-cylinder, 4-stroke diesel engine is located in the center of the front hull, behind the transmission, with the cooling system to the right and the radiator above. The engine drives a manual gearbox with 5 forward and 1 reverse gears. The BMP-1 has a maximum road speed of 65 kilometers per hour, or about 40 miles per hour, which is reduced to around 45 kilometers per hour or 28 miles per hour off-road. The BMP-1 is amphibious, propelling itself in the water using its tracks, assisted by hydrodynamic fairings on the track's upper side covers. Top swimming speed is about 8 kilometers per hour or 5 miles per hour. Before entering the water, the trim vane at the front of the hull should be erected to prevent water from flooding over the bow. The BMP-1 can cross water obstacles such as rivers and lakes, but it is not intended for sea landing operations. The BMP's main armament is the 73mm 2A28 Grom low-pressure smooth-bore semi-automatic gun. It is fed from a 40-round magazine located around the turret ring. The 2A28 smoothbore gun fires the same projectiles as the SPG-9 infantry light recoilless gun, but with a smaller propellant charge. Before 1974, the ammunition loadout consisted only of high-explosive anti-tank heat rounds. After 1974, the OG-15V HE fragmentation projectiles were introduced. The BMP-1 also has an ATGM launcher mounted on the top of the gun mantlet. The ATGM launcher is capable of firing the 9M14 NATO codename AT-3 Sagger. The Sagger was intended to be used against enemy main battle tanks and other armored fighting vehicles at distances from 500 to 3,000 meters. These ATGMs could penetrate up to 400 millimeters or 16 inches of steel armor, the NATO standard at the time. The BMP-1 was first seen by Westerners during the November 7, 1967 military parade in Moscow. Its appearance created quite a stir in the West, where lightly armed APCs were still the norm for transporting infantry on the battlefield. The Soviet Army's BMPs were typically issued to motorized rifle divisions and the motorized rifle regiments of tank divisions, where they replaced the BTR-152, the BTR-50P, and some BTR-60P APCs. More than 20,000 BMP-1s and vehicles based on it were built in the USSR. BMP-1s were produced under license by Czechoslovakia, Romania, and India. And since 1986, the People's Republic of China has produced its own unlicensed copy called the Type 86 WZ-501. The BMP-1 and all of its upgraded variants can still be found on the battlefields today. Now in War Thunder Arcade, the BMP-1 is a rank 5 light tank with a battle rating of 7.3. It has a 572 horsepower engine propelling the 13.4-ton vehicle to a top speed of 45 miles per hour. It comes equipped with the 73mm 2A28 Grom cannon, and it also has the 9M14 ATGM NATO codename Sagger, which can be upgraded to the 9M113 ATGM NATO codename Spandrel. Now I have it assigned to an expert crew with a crew level of 150, which gives me a reload of 5.3 seconds on the 73mm cannon. With a premium account, it has an XP reward of 400% and a Silver Line reward of 150%. So what do I think of the BMP-1 here in War Thunder Arcade? Well, let's go over the pros of the BMP-1 first, since it's kind of a short list. Pros: It's very mobile. It's one of the earliest ATGM vehicles available in the game. It has a devastating heat round with 300 millimeters of penetration at any distance. None of the ammo, even the ATGM, cost silver lions to replenish, so it's economical in that way. Yeah, that's the end of the pros list. So now for the cons list. It has absolutely no armor and can be easily hull broken. The gun has very little gun depression, which means that a lot of times you have to expose more of your vehicle than you would like to, especially if you're trying to shoot over hills or something like that. It has a very slow reverse speed, but what some people may not know is that there's like a second gear to the reverse speed. When you first hit reverse, you will go at a blistering -2 miles per hour. But if you hit reverse again, you will increase your reverse speed to -7 miles per hour. Not the greatest, but much better than -2 miles per hour. Another one of the cons is that all of the BMP's ammo types, that would be the heat round and the missiles, have a very sensitive fuse, and they will detonate on even the most flimsy of obstacles. And at this tier, I seem to get a lot of maps that are covered in trees or have fences and stuff like that, so it detonates the heat rounds, detonates the missiles, and this vehicle has no kinetic energy shell that you can shoot through some of that stuff with, and I find that to be quite a drawback with this vehicle. The BMP also only has 3 crew members, and 2 of them, the driver and commander, sit right behind each other, making it likely that both of them will be knocked out simultaneously. It is possible to kill the crew with machine gun fire, especially from the sides and the top. This vehicle is very vulnerable to aerial machine gun fire, rockets, and artillery. Now the next issue is sort of like a mini pro and con list. The pro is that you can upgrade the ATGM missile to a better version. The 2 cons with upgrading the missile is, 1, you have to grind out the missile, and that's kind of a bummer. But 2, when you do upgrade it, it will add a significant repair cost to the vehicle. So now that we've gone over the pro and con list, my general opinion of the BMP-1 is that it can be challenging to play in arcade where everyone can see you from across the map, and since this vehicle does suffer from hull break, people who see you can kill you. That being said, why don't we hop into a game and see what I was able to do with the BMP-1. Don't expect much. Here we go. All right. Looks like we picked up Japan. We're on the northern side of the map, and I'm probably gonna select, well, no, I am going to select the westernmost spawn point, and I'm gonna go over and cover A, because that's just what I always do. Creature of habit, I guess. So yeah, let's go ahead and select it. I know I'm gonna do it. I like this finish camouflage that I have on the vehicle. It's in-game camouflage. You can get it. I think it looks pretty nice, and the decals are just standard in-game decals. I have upgraded the missile system. I didn't use the upgraded. I left the Sagger on for all the cinematic footages because, you know, back when I was in the military, all of our images and training and stuff was that the BMP was carrying the Sagger. So just for sentimental purposes. I left that on for the cinematic effects. We're going to come up here and grab a little overwatch position here on the side of this hill and see if we can maybe missile somebody. If I can get them between those. Oh, I don't have a good sighting system. Not sighting system, but sighting angle, I guess. Pull around just a little. Oh, what is that? Jagdpanzer 4.5. Let's reposition a little bit and see if we can get a flatter angle to make it easier to aim. I didn't like that. It's going to have to pull too far out around that edge, so we're going to come down. And it looks like the Jagdpanzer 4.5 just got killed, so yeah. Well, let's just peek up here a little bit. Somebody is around here on the mini-map somewhere. Can't really take a hit, so I'm going to reposition because I can't tell where the enemy was exactly. Is somebody up here? They just got killed. Okay. We're playing really cautious because this thing has no armor. Make a dash over here behind this hill. Here's my unintentional teammate. Oh my goodness. There we go. See what else we got coming around here. Come over here by these rocks. Maybe I can shoot missiles over the rocks. But at least this BMP has, heat rounds, which pretty good for this 73 millimeter. It can penetrate like 300 millimeters of armor, so. Be still, you. Oh, I don't have the gun depression. That is bad. Got some arty. Oh, I may have gotten myself into a position where I can't engage these tanks and they can engage me, and I'm up here all by myself. This is not good. This tree is in my way. What else can go wrong? Oh yes. Okay. Got him. How did I survive this? Hit him. Come on. Hit him again. IS-2. Missed him. I think my round detonated on a tree or something. What do we got right here? Oh man, clocked me. hide. Alright. You gotta move once you deploy smoke, and then you can repair. If you stay in the same spot, they're just gonna shoot in the same spot where they hit you. Looks like he's coming up the hill. My smoke is gonna wear off. Am I gonna be repaired? I got a crew member back. I'm repaired. See if we can bug out of here. All right, we made it. Let's see what we got over here. This 73 millimeter does have kind of low velocity. Oh, here we go. A little payback. Missed him. Probably detonated on a tree or something. Hit him. Missed him again. Let's go for the driver. There we go. Oh no. I need to move. Let's back up. Let's repair. Somebody to my left. Okay, we're repaired. Let's see. What do we have over there? Oh. He just got killed. Oh. That gun depression. So bad. Alright. Let's see if I can use this little angle here to help. Oh, we hit him. Got his commander. I don't think we got his gunner. But the mission is accomplished and I did survive, so I'm happy about that. It's not usual that I get a complete game in the BMP. So awards: Adamant, Tank Rescuer, Professional, Survivor, and the Best Squad. I got Survivor. Right, so we picked up 3rd place in the team, XP and credits. That's my premium bonus. 5 targets destroyed, 88% battle activity. Yeah. Not too bad for me in the BMP. I'm sure this vehicle is a whole lot more effective in RB, but I would not know for sure since, you know, I don't play RB. But in arcade, it does leave something to be desired. The heat rounds are effective when you're out in the open, but, you know, shooting through trees, fences, stuff like that, it detonates the heat rounds. The gun depression is poor. The missile's pretty good, but yeah, it's not my favorite. That being said, if you've enjoyed this look at the BMP-1, hit that like button. If you don't subscribe if you would. It really helps the channel. But as always, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Nerd out.